Shailendra Singh of Percept has known the inside stories of the Indian team for a long time. Atul Vasan's joining us tonight. Sohail Seth's joining us tonight from Delhi. We have Kishore Bhimani from Kolkata. My first question is to Bishan Singh Bedi. Mr. Bedi, are you still backing Dhoni after what has been happening? You know, all these, I have these quotes. Half the team does not speak to the coach. Some players are favoured only because they are close to the skipper. There's no pep talk, no chat after the loss. Captain and coach don't speak to a single player. Absolutely no discussion in the dressing room after the Kolkata loss. Is Bishan Singh Bedi still backing Mahendra Singh Dhoni?
Well, Arnab, when did you ever get this idea that I was backing Mahendra Singh Dhoni? Tell me, please. Honestly, I mean, this is news to me. Absolutely, because, you know, when the team is winning, everything looks or appears honky-dory, right? And the coach and the captain and the support staff, as well as the administrators, they would like to take all the credit. But, you know, the real character of a side is when it is on the losing side or when it is on the receiving end. And this is where the character of the Indian side has really been shown in very, very, very poor light.
Precisely.
And I'm very sad, honestly, very, very sad. It's very, very, very difficult to press a particular button and say, all right, that this is wrong with Indian cricket.
We've seen
this hell of a lot wrong with Indian cricket,
yeah.
and it's not just blaming Dhoni or
no, there's no sense of tell me, Mr. Bedi, just one quick follow. You know, the coach and the captain pick up their bags and they go after a loss like this. No pep talk, no chat, no team spirit. You know, there is a sense of nonchalance about these defeats. At
absolutely.
Yes.
No, I'm telling you, they were so goddamn casual about, you know, losing this game in Calcutta. I was there and I felt ashamed, honestly. And all right, no, you win some, you lose some, and it's not always that you're going to win or not always you're going to lose. But that effort which calls for a national commitment was absent in huge abundance. And honestly, I was sitting with my Pakistani friends, and they're having a massive laugh. Look at your bloody IPL nonsense going on in the middle. And I said, oh, I mean, I had no answer. I had no answer whatsoever.
It's a rude reality, and I'm actually putting out some quotes. Let's stay on those quotes which we've got there of what players are actually telling us. One thing I'd like to add to, you know, I have this conversation, Shailendra, that this happens, a lower order player goes and says that, am I going to play as a pinch hitter? The player goes to the coach. This has happened yesterday, I think. He says, am I going to play as the pinch hitter? The coach tells the player, ask the skipper. So the player then goes to the skipper and he says, am I going to play as a pinch hitter? The skipper tells the player, I don't know. Maybe. Let's see. I mean, what rubbish is this? I'm telling you, we stick our neck out. This is exactly what happened. We have this information with us. Other channels not putting it. I'm telling you, this is absolute rubbish going on. And imagine what happens to that prospective pinch hitter. Shailendra.
And Arnab, this is happening to our national team. You know, Kapil Dev and Saurav Ganguly, I spent a lot of time, and I'm sure Bishan Paji will endorse my views. Kapil Dev said it to me 1,000 times that whenever he steps out on India colours onto the field to play for the country, it's like going to war. That's the kind of passion and commitment. And I seriously speaking, I mean, after Dhoni won the T20 World Cup, One Day World Cup, Test ranking as #1, I don't really know what was the fear and hunger left in Dhoni. Yeah. And 2 years, it's been a landslide for Indian team. And I think it's shameful for the nation to see that they don't even put a fight up. I mean, they're not interested in pride. The biggest thing in sport, like Bishan Paji said, it's about putting up a fight. And I don't think this is fair. That's happened to Indian cricket for sure.
I also want to say something about Ajinkya Rahane. I'm going to put some pictures out of Ajinkya Rahane because somebody needs to think about him. This is what we do to talent. You know, we say we are great in nurturing talent. Ajinkya Rahane has been part, let's put out pictures because now we unfortunately are having to ask whether he's going to be a permanent water boy. Ajinkya Rahane has been part of the Indian team since 2011-2012. He performs well. He has been turned into the permanent water boy. His job is to take water to these spoiled superstars on the field. And in-form person like Rahane doesn't get a place. And non-performing superstars who have, maybe some big money backing them are constantly there.
How will he get his spot?
No,
when the spots are pretty much pre-decided.
No, you can't allow that anymore. You can't allow that anymore.
We always had this debate on Times Now, and we discussed the fact that why does the same team and the same faces need to be seen in 3 different formats? And these guys have occupied the slot, so there is no hope for youngsters, however much they perform. Till these guys don't personally themselves give up, there is no hope for the youngsters.
Let's get Sohail in. He's not a, cricket. I know he's a cricket junkie. He's not a cricket expert.
He's an India fan.
But he's an India fan. The question is, Sohail, that we always crib about accountability. At the end of the day, is the India brand amounting to nothing for these players?
2 or 3 things. One is, you are partially responsible for India having lost the match today because they mistook the Times of India Aman Ki Asha campaign, believing that if they gave up this match, it would foster diplomacy between India and Pakistan. But on a more serious note, this isn't a team of 11. This is a team of 11 individuals who are cobbled together by the Board of Confusion for Cricket in India, also called the BCCI, and they make a mockery of your and my expectation. The tragedy lies elsewhere, which I think Bishan and Shailendra perhaps touched on. You have made demigods out of these people who are supposed to have their feet on the cricket pitch. They've become superstars. IPL gives them unlimited and unhindered amounts of money. You have these jokers being paraded around most of the time for every silly brand endorsement. So do you really think they care about brand India? They don't. So what is going to happen now, and I can predict, is that these endorsements will start drying up for a lot of the top heap. That's when they'll realize that performance, if not for country, at least for commerce, is critical. But currently, it is everyone is backslapping the other. You know, the board president will not harm Dhoni because of vested interest qua IPL. The BCCI is a collection of people who are backslapping mutually amenable bunch of people. It's the only place in the country which has no opposition, and everyone from differing political parties is friendly with each other. So in a republic of nexuses, don't hope for success.
I'm going to make a very straightforward comment here. You know, when you look at Saurabh Tiwari and Rahul Sharma, I'm looking at their background and I wonder whether the BCCI is wanting to select an Indian cricket team, Atul Wasan, or whether their whole job is to build up a future IPL team. You know, because honestly, I mean, are we selecting the Indian cricket team? Let me give that to Kishore Bhimani first, if he can hear me. Are we selecting an Indian cricket team, or are we selecting an Indian team on the basis of IPL performances? Rahul Sharma plays 11 matches for Pune Warriors, picking up 14 wickets, and then he makes an ODI debut. Saurabh Tiwari wins the Under-23 tournament for IPL 2010 representing Mumbai, makes his ODI debut against Australia in Visakhapatnam. So, basically, you look at IPL performances to select the Indian cricket team. Right or wrong, Kishore Bhimani?
No, the IPL performances are influencing our selectors to a certain extent, but let's be clear about this. Are we talking about selectorial process, or are we talking about the atmosphere in the dressing room? Because there are 2 separate issues. One is about leadership, coach and captain, and I'd like a short 1 minute to explain this. I have not seen a more popular leader and captain than Bishan Bedi. I traveled with him on 5 tours. And he could not only, you lose a match, he could come off the field and inspire the boys back. I have never seen anybody like that, foreign media and Indian media. He would talk to them, he would be communicative. Times have changed over the years. There have been so many rumors about dressing rooms. Kapil Dev versus Sunil Gavaskar, Punjabis versus Marathis. A lot of it was exaggerated, done by the media. We've seen lately Kevin Peterson versus Strauss. We've seen all these things that are going on. Zimbabwe dressing room. insufferable. West Indies dressing room 1975 when they lost 5-1 to Australia. I tell you a story that Clive Lloyd and Lance Gibbs were their two senior players. The 5 men standing padded up because somebody had said that they are scared to face Thompson and Lilly. And there was Kalicharan, Lawrence Rowe, Greenwich, Haynes. They were all padded up and saying, no man,
there is bad blood. No, Kishore Bhimani, you want to talk about what's going on in the dressing room? Let's talk about it. There is bad blood. There people are openly talking there about Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Mahendra Singh Dhoni goes there and he says that the top 4 batsmen should take responsibility and bat through the innings. In the Indian dressing room, people are now saying, why does Mahendra Singh Dhoni not promote himself up the order? Why does he not take the responsibility? You have a feeling that here is a captain who is an expert at letting you down, whose public pronouncements will be to whip the team publicly outside, not say one word in the dressing room, do a quiet understanding with the BCCI and retain his seat. Atul Vasan, is that the brutal reality or not today? One second. Atul Vasan.
You know, I've been listening to all the comments, and I think one thing is clear, that we are all upset, you know. But doesn't really mean that we start finding faults in everything from IPL to team unity. You know, cricket is one of the most individual sports, camouflaged as a team sport. We all know that. But all these allegations about players not knowing what to do, and this alleged player going and asking, am I playing as a pinch hitter? It's laughable. When was the last time India played a pinch hitter? And I'm sure, you know, I mean, I can only remember Irfan Pathan playing a couple of games and you know, categorically as a pinch hitter. So I'm surprised, you know.
No, one second. Let me ask you this. One second. You know, I want to ask you this about Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Atul Vasan, 1 minute. Here's a point here today. Okay? Atul, in yesterday's game, Dhoni scores 54 runs, right? In 89 balls with a strike rate of 60.67. India loses the game by 85 runs. Instead of going out there and saying, you know, the top 4 let me down, top 4 let me down, top 4 let me down, why does he not explain why he was playing so slowly? You know, 1 minute. His innings may save his own spot. Why was he playing so slowly? Why didn't he say that?
I got you. You're drowning me with statistics, you know, and in cricket it's never as clear as what stats tell you.
Well, Dhoni's
style is this. If you know, please. Let me finish, you know, let me put my point of view, is that Dhoni is the kind of player who has been, you know, playing like this for last couple of years. He came as a slam bank cricketer, but then he found became the best finisher of the player.
What is the point of a score?
The point is,
what is the point of a score if it doesn't help the team win? I don't understand that point.
He knows.
He knows.
We know that there are technical errors, there are selection problems. They chose the wrong team. You know, where was Ajinkya Rahane? We all know that. You know, he's been the water boy. I must have you know, been the water boy for 50 games for India. I never played because you got to put in your hours. The point is,
it's gone beyond that.
The point is that selection problem was there. Now what do we do? In hindsight, he has to give us.
No, I'm not.
To give excuse or something.
No, one second, Atul. First of all, why are we talking about this? You need to locate. Atul. You know, Atul, it's not. No. I am not drowning you in statistics. I am sharing facts with you today. These are facts. We want to know, and what is happening in the dressing room. We are exposing it on Times Now. It may be embarrassing for some, but I think people need to know. Shailendra want to come in. Yes.
Just one point. Because you know, if you put last 50 games of Dhoni, he will say he first 50 deliveries he plays at 50 strike rate, and then he matches. That's his way. You can't hold a style of a player against him once he loses.
Shailendra wants to.
For India as well.
Shailendra.
Atul, I respect you a lot as a cricketer, but just one point I want to clarify, which I think you said in the beginning. Cricket is a team sport. It's not an individual sport. So if you're justifying that it's an individual sport, then it's inappropriate for the young population of this country to understand that aspect. Secondly, when you play a team sport, leadership is paramount. I mean, the captain leads from the front. He's the man who sets the tone, the energy, and the strategy for the team to perform, which you'll agree with. Now, my point is, we've discussed the issue.
Okay, my point, Shailendra, to you is, would you have agreed that Dhoni came on to bat and went for a few big hits and gets out himself and we pack up in 30 overs? You would have preferred that, right?
No, Atul, as a cricketer, and I understand what you're trying to say, I think he did the job that he thought he was supposed to do yesterday. But in the circumstances of 2 years of continuous defeats, huge defeats, I mean, England, Australia, Asia Cup, T20 World Cup, I mean, there's a lot of nonsense that has happened. Also, there's been a lot of debate about Sehwag versus Dhoni, which were pretty much evident about, and those energies are pretty visible on the field. Having said that, the big issue is accountability. We got 60% of our population is below the age of 25. Tonight they want to know, how can non-performance be a criteria for selection? Big issue. Second issue, accountability. How come heads don't roll? We continuously do not perform and nobody gets sacked.